let the uprising begin.
There are only two genders, and one of them is right here. It's the box that rocks. This is the Angela Box Show.
Hey, you guys, on today's show, more Epstein stuff has been released, and not one handcuff in sight. Let's talk about it today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box. Show your fucking money.
I'm going to give it a shot to get this video under 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But I missed y'all last week because it was Christmas and I need to talk. I mean, there's only so much talking to myself I can do. All right, let's get to the latest Epstein stuff because, I mean, yeah, I can get it in under 10 because it's stupid. And it's like, what is even happening? Well, first of all, we need to discuss the fact that Dan Bongino quit. And I don't know why Dan Bongino quit. My suspicion is that he was not happy with the speed of release of things and the fact that people haven't been arrested yet. But I would say this, as we've seen with every other single case that goes to these Democrat judges, like nothing's going to happen to these people because of these judges. Okay, they're not. I think what's happening is that they're doing a steady rollout of the stuff, the information, in order to put it into the people's brains that, as you can see from these photographs, there's not one picture of President Trump in any of these. Well, there are, but nothing untoward. I think what they're doing is getting out a steady diet of that to the American people before the midterms, okay? And then right before the midterms, I predict there's going to be some major, major revelations, okay? That's my prediction. But let's get to what we know now. Okay, so last week, Pam Bondi was, she directed everyone to release another million of the Epstein files, okay? And people are pouring through them, people with much bigger brains and longer attention spans than me, okay? They're pouring through them. But the thing that has come up over and over and over again, obviously there's some pictures of Michael Jackson. Actually, what am I saying? That came out of nowhere. Like, but again, does this not track? And I'm sorry, if you're one of those stands that's like, Michael Jackson didn't molest anyone, I'm like, okay, okay, like whatever. Save it for Reddit, okay? Save it for the Michael Jackson is innocent subreddit. Anyway, Michael Jackson is there. Mick Jagger. Is anyone surprised about that? No. Obviously, Kevin Spacey's all over the place. Larry Summers. And you know who else? You know who else? I mean, I don't know. The media hasn't talked about it, so maybe it didn't actually happen. But, oh, that's right. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is all over these things. And y'all, the pictures that we can now see, like the one of Bill Clinton, probably naked with his crooked penis, according to Paula Jones, naked in a bath, a bath that looks like an underground pool of some sort of indoor pool with a topless Ghislaine Maxwell and then a victim whose face is blacked out because I guess she's under 18, okay? And she's a victim of sex trafficking. And he's just there, swimming, as you do. Been to Lolita Island like 26 times. And then there's this picture of him with this very, very young girl sitting on his lap. Does not look like Chelsea nor a relative of any sort. And the girl definitely does not look 18 years old. And I'm curious as to why that picture made it out. I hope it's not AI. If it's AI, I apologize. But I think the whole point of showing it was like, this girl does not look 18. Like, period, at the end. Now, here is something that someone combed through on the files and was able to get out here. I'm going to read it to you. It's a tweet. I'm not going to read the whole tweet, but I'll read a lot of it because it's important to be able to see that evidence. So essentially in the grand jury files, which Trump wanted released and the Democrats did not, in the grand jury files, there was just horrific descriptions of the things that have gone on, things that we have not seen or heard yet. Now, I will say those of us who understand what Pizzagate is and understand what was actually going on at Epstein Island and understands why Ghislaine Maxwell had both a helicopter and a submarine license. Those of us who understand that there were cement trucks filling up tunnels the day that Jeffrey Epstein got arrested, Those of us who've been dialed into this for a long time know these things. We didn't know these specifics, but we knew this was going on. So here we go here. This is from Mario Nafal. New Epstein files. Survivor says she was kept in stalls and raped as a child by Epstein. Quote, he said I was an animal. Y'all, this is bad. A trafficking victim describes being blindfolded and taken to an underground site where she and other girls, again, underground site, tunnels, an underground site where she and other girls were held in horse-style cells to be, quote, viewed by Epstein and groups of men. Like, guys, we have not heard this before. This is bad. She says Epstein insulted her appearance, forced her to perform for approval, and raped her, and then told her she was, quote, evil because she liked it. Girls who performed well enough were sent upstairs or lined up for men. She describes naked photos of girls covering the walls and being told to, quote, pray hard enough to be worthy. Y'all, this tracks. This tracks. In another statement, she says she was trafficked from early childhood, sold across state lines by her own parents, and raped by Epstein in the Virgin Islands when she was still a minor. I was kept in a stall so that men could look at me. He said I was an animal. That's just some of it, y'all. That's just some of it. But don't worry, Bill Clinton put out a statement. He put out a statement, everybody, and he just wants everyone to know that he wants, you know, as you can see from these troves of documents that release that show me with young girls naked in a pool. As you can see, you guys, there's nothing to see here. Like, I didn't do anything. And you know what we really need to see? We really need to see those files on Donald Trump. And I will remind everybody that Megyn Kelly had Julian Assange on her Fox show many, many years ago. And Julian Assange said, you guys, if I had stuff on Donald Trump, I would have released it. Roll that clip.
U.S. election, as you point out, you're not an American citizen. You're an Australian. You know, you're clearly not rooting for Hillary. But are you rooting for Trump?
No. I mean, if we have good information on Trump, we publish that. If we have good information on Hillary, the Democrats, we publish that. It is a bit concerning, the allegations that by the Clinton campaign that everyone is a Russian agent are really disturbing. Why is that? Well, because bizarrely, Hillary Clinton, the Democrat, has positioned herself now to be the security candidate. She's powered up with the neocons responsible for the Iraq War, and she's grabbed on to this kind of neo-McCarthyist hysteria about Russia and is using that to demonize the Trump campaign. The Trump campaign has all sorts of things wrong with it, but as far as we can see, being Russian agents is not one of them. You know, some people have asked us, when will you release information on Donald Trump? And of course, we are very interested in all countries to reveal the truth about different candidates so people can understand. But it's really hard for us to release anything worse than what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth every second day. I mean, it's part of his charismatic appeal that he speaks off the cuff.
Yeah, he was basically like, Trump would have like, No, he's like, I don't have anything. It didn't happen, okay? And again, if we know this, it bears repeating. It has to be repeated. If Joe Biden had anything on Donald Trump, if Barack Obama had anything on Donald Trump, they would have released it. They wouldn't have had to invent an entire Russia collusion hoax, okay? If they had one single blurry picture of Donald Trump in the vicinity, in a swimming pool with a victim, with a naked Ghislaine Maxwell, this is all we would see for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until Trump threw himself off the White House and suicided himself, okay? That is all we would see. If they had it, they would have shown it. They don't have it. That's it. And Trump keeps saying this is a Democrat hoax. And I think he says it's a Democrat hoax because they keep trying to tie him to it. But I also think he says this because he wants them to keep talking about it, okay? He's like, the more I say it's a hoax, the more I say there's nothing to it, even though he's not saying that. He's just said, release everything, just get it out. Like, this is a distraction, whatever. But the more he says that, the more the Democrats show that ass and keep going, what are you talking about? It's a hoax. See, all these, we demand everything released. And Trump's like, well, okay, you twisted my arm. Here you go. Here's pictures of Bill Clinton with a clearly underage girl sitting on his lap, swimming with Ghislaine Maxwell and a victim, and God knows what else. Okay, God knows what else. I imagine, and here's what I honestly think. I return to the top of my video here. If you understand the chess that's being played, and you understand that this Pizzagate thing, for lack of a better word, okay, is very multi-layered. It goes very deep and very wide, okay? And I would imagine that there are people on our side too that are wrapped up into this, all right? Now, Trump has a decision to make. He can either, take a blowtorch to all these people. And Fred and I actually, and I think this could actually be true, I think it goes so deep and wide that it could disrupt the world's everything, like the world economy, the world order, like not a new world order, but like the world order. Like, I think it would be that disruptive. So I think what they're doing is they're probably letting them be known that they have certain information to people, and they can decide if they want to be, if they want to, if it's, they want to plead, or they want them to be tried, take their chances in court with these Democrat judges. I don't know. I mean, I think there's so many people involved that they can't do that to everyone. They just can't. So I think maybe what they're trying to do right now is to go through and find some really high profile people that they can take down. And then we'll see what happens with the rest of them. Oh, the Epstein files never end, do they, ladies and gentlemen? And I think it's just going to get more interesting as time goes on. And I think we're all waiting for some arrests. But again, I think it's strategic what's going on. All right. That is where I'm going to leave today's video. Please let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And I'll see you in the next video. I will be done. Bye.